Hi folks, today I bring to you how Nigerians were thrown under the bus, how politicians or politic pastors use all the instrumentalities of cajolery, deceit, and outright lies to throw Nigerians under the bus. They use all the religious vocabularies to a kind of swindle the unsuspecting Nigerian Christians. But what is uppermost in their mind is how to grab power. But what do they do with the power is another thing altogether. I call them politics pastors, how they cajole, how they throw Nigerians under the bus. Unfortunately, anything that is wrapped in religious garb will definitely catch Nigerians. Once it is wrapped under religious garb, we are definitely going to fall for it. See how we fare for this.
Please, can we be seated? Can we be seated? Thank you very much. 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 Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. This is indeed the day the Lord has made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. Nigeria's wealth is the commonwealth of all. It belongs to everyone. God has blessed my family. We don't need the wealth of Nigeria to survive, but to do the right thing. And I promise you on this altar that with your help, with the help of God, we will set this nation on the right path.
You see what I mean? She used all the familiar vocabularies in the Bible to cajole people. You saw pastors there. You saw reverends, you saw bishops, you saw the apostles, you saw all of them there clapping, and clapping. You see what we're talking about? All in the name of politics. Why not come original the way you are? Yeah, you told us that your family does not or is not going to depend on the wealth of Nigeria. How true is that? Pastor Mrs. Remi, Tinubu, how true is that? That God has blessed your family. Your family does not need to depend on the wealth of Nigeria. But you're going to use the wealth God has blessed you with to also affect others. How true is that? See, Tinubu, is that part of the wealth of your family? Using or flying presidential jet, a private person using presidential jet to visit friends, to attend polo tournament. Is that part of your family patrimony? Look at it.
Delilah, they give me wahala. I never see a girl like Delilah. You be gangsta, you be fire, you be pop star. You give me love 49 too. They say you never see a bad boy like me. I never see a girl like Delilah. You be gangsta, you be fire, you be pop star. They give me love 49 too. Many girls born on Delilah.
Ignore the hate, ignore the fake, ignore the funny shit. I can never lose what you told, bitch. These haters on my body, shave it off, yeah. I see the hate and I see a lot of love too.
Girl, I go buy you designer, because if I like Rihanna.
You see what I mean? You want to use the wealth that God has blessed you with to rub on Nigerians so that they also can be blessed. Because God has blessed your family. You don't need to covet the wealth of Nigeria anymore. This convoy we are looking at, Who can count the number of SUVs that are in that convoy? Let's look at the convoy first before we analyze. Is this also part of your family wealth? Look at those SUVs. We are talking in an era where gas or fuel costs almost $600. 600 naira. Where an average Nigerian cannot even afford to power his generator because there is no light. Perpetually, there have been no light. An average Nigerian cannot do anything with light because no fuel, no money to buy fuel. Even to charge their phone, they have to go to business centers. They have to go to so many places just to charge the batteries of their phone because there is no light and there is no money to buy gas. Look at the convoys. Look at the SUVs on your convoys. Look at it. And yet this is a government that is coming at a time that Nigeria is in the throes of poverty. Nigeria is in the throes of poverty. No job, no good roads. Schools are perpetually on strike. Health sector is comatose. Everything, nothing is going well. And yet you see an opulent government like this. And yet you have come to enrich Nigeria. The burial alone, and you do all these things in the name of God, and yet there is no single fear of God in you. What have you guys turned religion to in Nigeria? And yet people are still suffering. Our people travel overseas, they perish in the sea, and you see all these things all the time. You sacrifice your fellow compatriot. You sacrifice them for the sharks to feed on the high sea just because they are running away. They are just tired of misgovernment. They are tired of lack of food. They are tired of lack of job. They are frustrated. They want to run anywhere. And some of them, in their desperation, they are running into the sea, into the mouth of sharks. And yet, you are there in Asoro, enjoying in opulent splendor. You don't even have the fear of God in you at all. Yet corruption. In fact, look at NNPC, for instance. That one has become the cesspool of corruption. NNPC is supposed to be the organization, the institution that regulates the mainstay of Nigeria's economy, oil. And yet, the man at the head, called Mele Kyari, whose appointment was shrouded in secrecy and some controversial circumstances, who have been accused of embezzlement and outright financial robbery. He has been there. You didn't touch him. All these things are happening under your government. And yet, people are suffering. People are dying in the sea. You have a fat government. So many things are happening. You are voting billions to refurbish a presidential house. You are buying presidential jets. And yet you don't even bother to patronize made in Nigeria in all of this. And yet you want to revamp economy. Come on now. Let's stop deceiving ourselves. Nigerians, you have to be wise. You have to be wise. For a government who promises to change the situation, to renew your hope, for that kind of government to be doing all this and yet without even listening to the people, is far removed from the reality of the ground. It seems not to know that people are suffering, or it's pretending not to know that the people are suffering. My goodness. I think we have had enough of this. Nigerian people, you have to act wisely. A government like this has nothing to do, and it's piling up debt upon debt. Which government is going to pay this? And when is the economy going to be revamped for an average Nigerian to enjoy the commonwealth that God has given them? Brother Tinubu, I'm sorry, you are not doing this right. You are not doing this right at all. Your government is an extension of your family and friends and so on and so forth. And yet, we can't even distinguish between the conflict of interest and people who are coming to work. Everything is just within the confine of your friends, family, and all that. Just like the government of yesterday. What's the difference between your government and that of Buhari now? It's a pity that things are like this in Africa. And this is why and how African governments just throw their people under the bus. Sacrifice them on the sea for sharks to feed on. Pretend not to know that they are dying because no member of their families are involved. This is unfortunate. I think we can do better. Nigerians, I'm just bringing this to your notice so that in the next election, I think we'll open our eyes. No matter what these kind of people promise, no matter what they promise, of course, no. That this first section that they are going on with, if they can't do anything meaningful that will affect the lives of the people meaningfully, of course, it's unlikely they are going to be able to do anything before they are 8 years. And the 8 years will just be wasted like as it has always been. And that will be too ghastly for anybody to contemplate. I come in peace as usual, and Dr. Femi Adegbulu. Please, if you are just visiting my channel for the first time, don't forget to subscribe and press the notification button so that whenever I upload any new video, you can get it. And for those of you who have been consistent with me on this channel, I thank you so much. You can see that every time on this channel, you always get it fresh. You get what you need to hear. Until I come your way again next time, please stay out of trouble and keep on keeping on. Keep hope alive. Very soon, God will come through for you. I remain yours sincerely, Dr. Femi Adegbulu. Bye for now.